Hello, Samadan here, and another week of Dragonflight Alpha is here, and this time we're going to have a look at jewelcrafting and leatherworking. They've just been released with this latest version, so let's go into the world and have a look what it's all about. Okay, so let's have a look. We have a few extras. Oh, we have a skeleton tour in here. What have you got with us? Okay, you've been skinned already, so you've got all the different supplies here. So let's have a look. We've got resilient leather now. Okay, so let's just take a load of that. And then we've got some scales, usually as we have the scales and everything. So grab some of that, then some hide. We'll just go with the top quality stuff for the moment. And scales here. This is interesting. Some fur and some more scales that doesn't have anything attached to it in terms of quality. A few other bits and pieces here. Maybe some unique bits and pieces for each of these. Let's go have a look through. What else? We've got some more plumage. Okay, some feathers as well. Then we've got some blue scales here, proto-dragon scales, flawless. And then we've got the usual awakened and rousing bits and pieces here, along with some souls and things like this. Seems to be like the standard bits and pieces that we need for a crafting session. Let's have a look. Let's go look at the trainer. See, we're going to need some ore as well. So, leatherworking, definitely. Let's train this. And Dragon Isles, leatherworking. And then jewelcrafting, we might as well pick that up now whilst we're here. And we'd like to learn jewelcrafting is your second one. Yes, please. There we go. And then this is Dragon. Yeah, this is all Dragon Isles bits and pieces here at 5. Now interestingly, because we're a Draenei, we picked these up already. So we get a plus 15 to our crafting. So I'm going to grab these now whilst I'm here. We may see some racial benefits coming into play in the early game, but in the end of the day, it's not going to make a huge amount of difference. Okay, so let's just have a look at our professions. We'll get ourselves some leatherworking and some jewel crafting. So let's have a look at leatherworking. So I expect this to be very much like blacksmithing in many ways. In fact, what I'm going to do, bring up the training in leatherworking here on one side, then we can do both at the same time. So we've got the basics, resilient leather tunic, resilient leather wrist guards, and then the scale variants, vest and bracers. Now we've got some profession equipment. Skinner's travel pack, okay. Skinny accessory gives you 49 finesse. Jeweler's tool apron. Okay, so I like the fact that we've got some interaction again going between blacksmithing and jewelcrafting and leatherworking. So blacksmiths can make a lot of tools. It looks like leatherworkers can make a lot of different things. That I think this is where we're going to see some really nice economy interplay between the different professions. And then obviously all the unlearned bits and pieces here. Let's start with the basics. Just level this up. Usually wrist guards. Again, we're going to look at this mainly minimum crafting quality going up to 100 with all of this. Now this has changed since the last time I looked at this in a video. You do get a little flash that goes all the way to the end, so you know that you've been inspired when creating something. That gives it a much better indication anyway. But whilst we're making these, I'm going to train the extras. Then I'm going to swap over to boots as we're leveling up here. These are going green and yellow as you'd expect. Looks like the tunic's the next one. Whether there's going to be any vendor shuffles with these, that's going to be interesting. Now going up the tunic, it's currently red, so let's just power through this. Then reinforced armor kit, that should be quite cheap to make. And what have we got? Oh, engineer's protective gloves, those sound good. Okay, this has gone yellow. So let's just start with these next ones. This is rapid training, if ever I saw it, really. This is taking us up to 35, so again the later recipe is going to be down to finding them in the world. Okay, a tattered armor kit. This is all yellow. Anything now? We've got some essence of tear, wisp of tear. So these are quite common across all professions. Alchemy can do them, blacksmithing can do them as well. So it's kind of personal to your own profession. But I did notice a bit of interplay between alchemy and blacksmithing in terms of making oils to go onto the finishing reagents for those. So that's all of those crafted at 35. A whole load of stuff has been made. Riding crop, okay, that's interesting. Increases mount speed by 10%. This reminds me of the old carrot on the stick. And then hopefully we can get some extra I'm hoping we can get some extra bonuses to that. If you get a higher crafting quality, we'll have to see. But that's the basic stuff, certainly. We can probably go up with these artisans of metal for those. Easily pick that up at the moment. So might as well put the jeweler's kit whilst I'm here. And then a bunch of the artisans of metal. There we go. And I'll probably need a bit of primal flux as well. And I can sell all these things that I've just made. Obviously, when we get to the stage of looking at vendor shuffles and things like that, we're going to have some interesting options, certainly. Like those can't be sold. Just grab those for now. So leatherworking so far, that's the basics. Now, obviously, unlocking specializations. We do have some leatherworking specializations already, which is really nice to see. So this will be unlocked, I think it's either 25 or 35. And so then we can start on this. So I think in the same way as looking at the other professions, you'd probably start here at the leatherworking discipline, build this up a little bit more, and then you can start, learn a sub-specialization. These ones will be available at various points. I mean, if we learn this one like that, then this is not available to us until this one's been progressed a little bit further. So we should have something to give us from you, I think. Across to probably all these pages now, it gets difficult to find everything. Secret guide to leatherworking is what I wanted. Okay. Obviously, just for testing purposes, we can get ourselves 50 points very easily. How many you have at this point is still going to be very much up in the air at the moment. And then leatherworking, we can start learning. So here we've got the leatherworking discipline rank 0 of 30. Improve at leatherworking, gaining +1 crafting skill per point in this specialization. Next each bonus at rank 5. So we go in, you probably learn. Have a look. So we add knowledge in here. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can either learn a sub-specialization, so we could go further into curing and tanning. +1 per point, especially on crafting reagents and armor kits. Got bonding and stitching, crafting skill when crafting bows and profession accessories. And then that's when crafting leatherwork patterns, and that's when doing resourcefulness refunds 5% more materials when crafting leatherworking patterns. So that's when you're going to want to get a little bit more efficient in things as well. And so these now require level 100 of Dragonflight's Leatherwork to unlock additional specialization. Okay, so that's got the limit. So you have to max out your leatherwork before you can do any further. So this is probably where you'll start adding your knowledge in, and then further increasing that once you're up to 100. So, I mean, getting extra crafting skill is going to be something you want to add in. So let's say you just maxed that out, like so. By those, that's first 30 points gone straight into that. Then we go back into our leatherworking. Okay, we need to skill this up some more. So things I can currently make is the Essence of Tear and Wisp of Tear. So let's start with some of those. Whether these are going to be on a daily cooldown doesn't really look like at the moment. And when crafting increases crafting skill, so these are the finishing reagents. The Essence of Tear is, that's it, increases skill as well. Interesting. They both increase crafting skill. They have also gone yellow now. Everything else has gone grey. They've gone green already. And we are currently, just at halfway of leatherworking. So this seems to be like the rough baseline ballpark. Go to the trainer, get a whole load of recipes that can get you up to about halfway of maximum. But this is by far just the start of the journey. Looking at this, we're going to go, okay, what am I going to do? Now, I'm going to need to learn all of these other recipes, which are going to probably come out through exploring the world, quests and things like that. So leveling up. So I imagine, don't know yet. At the moment, it's a lot easier just to go to the vendor and buy all of these recipes. So let's have a look at jewel crafting. Going to be a similar case here. We've got the Dragonflight's prospecting. And so this is a slightly different way of doing things. We had a hint about this in previous articles about basically mass prospect is going to be part of this interface here. So let's go get some ore and have a look at this. Okay, so, oops, a crash there. So we got ourselves a whole load of ore here at rank 3. So let's have a look. So we get 5 of this, and let's create all. See what we get. So crumbled stone. Acquire jewel crafters and prospecting ore from the Dragon Isles. Okay. I still haven't found a way to do auto loot yet. Here we go. Vibrant emerald. And then we've got prismatic ore, acquired by jewel crafters, okay. Fractured glass, okay. And eternity amber. Queen's ruby, crumbled stone. Bring up our bags so we can see some of this stuff coming in. Now prospecting is, where are we at now? 13, so we're getting these green. That said, you can't obliterate that item. That was interesting. Sundered onyx. So these look like your typical jewel crafting bits and pieces. Obviously, when we get into this min-maxing and working out the rates that you get everything at, that will come at a much later date. Once more people are testing this, we'll get more results and more people working the statistics, and so we can get some decent prospecting rates on all of the ore and things like that. It's too early for that. Oh, here we go. There's a purple one. Limited diamond. Highly desirable diamond prospecting. Okay. And this is a quality 3. Notice we're getting various ranges of 1, 2, and 3 in return prospected stuff. And nothing here we actually make yet out of the things we've prospected. Change this over to something different. Let's have a look. Alexandrite, stick sapphire. Okay, these are based off of the different dragons. That's interesting. Malachite. I like the names of these. These are really nice. I hope they stay. So you're getting a lot of different stuff from the draconium ore. You're going to spend a lot of your time just prospecting, really. And once I've worked out how you can just mass prospect with the auto loot on, let's see if we can find that on the interface, because it's all changed anyway. So enable sound, graphics, languages, network, accessibility, general, thing there. Followed by my text to speech, gameplay, controls, auto dismount, sticky targeting, open loot with window at mouse. Well, that's okay. We can keep that off if we want. Bind back to a single one, that's good. Where is auto though? Interface, my name, everything's on. Well, everything's off rather. Yeah, auto loop. Here we go. Turn that on. So let's see what mass prospecting does now. So let's create all here, and then it doesn't carry on. Okay. So if you had this linked to a mouse wheel or something like that, that might work. Or maybe we can increase this here. Create. Then that goes back to 1 again. I think this might not be quite working as intended. The create all and the create don't seem to continue. Okay, we've got a load of stuff at the moment. So the things we can make at the moment, some amber and some polished stone. Let's go bring up our trainer whilst we're here. Learn different things. A draconic vial, that could be interesting. Then we go back here. Now I've got a few different things we can make. We're missing a fair amount of here. This is needing some rousing items, rousing air. A lot of this requires the rousing section, so let's grab a load of those. Okay, that's a bunch of that, and then our trainer again, and then let's have a look. Okay, so now we can make a few different bits and pieces. Let's start with some frameless lenses. Jewelcrafters make bought and sold on. These are reagents that are going in. So this will be for alchemists, the draconic vial. I wonder what the flameless lens is. Is that an engineering thing? And shimmering glass. Not sure about some of these. Let's start with some of these then. So watch this go up each time, and then if you get inspired, it goes all the way up to the end. Not expecting a huge amount with only 5% inspiration at this point. Specialization locked at 25 at the moment. We're just about to get up to that. There we go, down, that's gone yellow. Let's just learn a few more things. Take us up to 25. Then there's a big jump up to 40 here. Then we've got a number of gems over here. Statues and carvings. This needs the polished stone. Pendants, shimmering clasp. Okay, we need to make some of the shimmering clasps, which comes from the misshapen filigree. Okay, and that's going to be from the vendors. Filigree, let's grab a load of this. Grab a few more of these. Well, we're here, just in case you might need them. See my train just under there in jewel crafting. Okay, so we're up to 40. We want to get up to 40 to finish these off. We're not quite there. Missing something here. Fire gems. Time watches. Patience. Okay, what's this? Marvelous unique. The fragile gemstone. A crack to reveal a small hoard of nosderite. Okay, try this. That's fractured glass, eternity amber, and finely ground gemstones. There we go. Cooldown. 3-day cooldown. Wow. Okay, that's going to be something fairly unique. Is it going to be soulbound? I'm not sure. Oh, it is unique actually. Just grab that. Not sure what that's used for yet. What else have we got? The impending perils. So we've got some nice things with the socket in. Soul cage, turns out it's a particularly powerful elemental. And then we've got gems for putting in things. So it requires item level 200, the usual kind of gems you'd expect here at this point. Awakened Fired Nosdorite we don't have. This all requires the Nosdorite. Did we actually get some from that? It can be cracked to reveal. Okay, so let's have a look and open up this. Ah, there we go. And we got some Nosdorite out of that. Interesting. Okay, so there's a... This is going to be hard to get hold of, this Nosdorite, perhaps. It's a blue thing. But also, did you notice with the 3-day cooldown, this is something maybe an old army, especially in the early stages, would find very useful. Jewel crafting cooldowns, perhaps. Okay, so that reminds me a little bit of the Pandaria professions. What was it again? It reminds me of the sky shards that you used to get in Pandaria from prospecting Kuiperite. Combine them together. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's see if we can get this leveled up a little bit further. So that Nosdorite, we have got some. We need to pick up some Awakened Air, Awakened Earth. Didn't get some of that. Let's grab some of the... We've got a little bit of that, so let's make at least 5 of these. We've only got the 5 of the Nosdorite. Can you buy some a little bit easier? Can't actually buy any at this point. Maybe we change the cooldown. So this is for specialization. Let's grab that. Okay, nothing item-wise there. Okay, so let's make 5 of these that we can do anyway. Interesting, these are going down into the lower quality ones now. And that takes us up to skill level 40 at this point. And elemental primordial virgin. Allocations on, not sure we've got any stats on these yet. Red carving, polished stone, and shimmering clasp. Polished stone we can make. Shimmering clasp we can make. That comes from the crumbled stone and the eternity amber. And then shimmering clasp, let's make 12 of those. Okay, so then we've got the revitalized red carving we can make with these items. This is a glorious draconic statue on the ground nearby where it will heal you for a short time before its power fades. It can only be used on the dragon. Oh, that's interesting. And already that's gone grey, so that was no good to me. So looking at the trainer thing, oh no, actually though there was some ones at 40, but no. Champion jewel crafting. Let's grab this, and then 45 elemental harmony. Let's have a look. Elemental harmony requires 1 of each of these. Nethra. Okay, these are the different dragon ones that came from prospecting. These came from prospecting that. So I like these multi-steps that are coming into these things. When they've got limited resources is going to be quite interesting. Lost my interface just then. Let's try that again. Very interesting. Slightly buggy at the moment, it would seem. Okay, now it's working. Once I turn the trainer off. I'm waiting for Netherite and Nosdorite. What the force Nosdorite? Nosdorite came from... now the Nosdorite came from the daily cooldown, unfortunately. Maybe I'm not going to be able to do that as easily. What about this ore? Let's prospect. I can't actually prospect it, interestingly. I can't re-prospect it, but it is here. Titanicum ore. Can we get anything from here? Oh, they've got some Neltherite there. And some Malachite. Oh, and we've got some Nosdorite here. So this is the higher end ore, it would seem. The Titanic ore. It is blue. And so we are getting some decent things from this. So this is going to be our mass prospect option here, with the daily cooldown not being quite so limited now. And then we need the primal convergent for this one, which is... Where do we get this from? It's a crafting reagent. Can't currently buy it. All of these require it. Some form. No, this one needs it. Primal convergent. Primal convergent. Allocate reagent qualities. Oh, that's just the quantity we have of each of these. Okay, so if you click on each of these, you can say, okay, I'm going to use this quality of this item on this and this quality item on that. Okay, so that doesn't give us anything really here. We're stuck on a leveling point here of really looking at the gems with the Nosderite really, and the awakened bits and pieces. As long as we've got a path really through, I mean, this basically seems to be the way forward. Get yourself halfway, go off and find some more recipes. Oh, there we go. We got inspired. You see that come up there, and that became a quality 2. Now we're at yellow with these anyway. And then the elemental harmony is causing us a bottleneck here at the moment, unless we can find a way of getting hold of this primal convergent. That's our journey for the moment at 46. The time watcher's patience, we can make that with each of these, but the cooldown is on that one. So there are some limits here, and then obviously if we went out and bought all the recipes, that would be quite easy to go and skill ourselves up even beyond that. So there's different levels, because you can see here in this unlearned tab there's a whole lot of different stuff. Reagents, blotting sand, pounce, crafting increases bonus crafting skill and inspiration. And then we've got the air gems, more air gems, different types of gems, and primalist gems, increased stats on all of those. Tiered medallion setting, add a socket to an endgame Dragonflight necklace. A necklace can have up to 3 sockets. Okay, 3 sockets is really good. So that's going to mean, you know, a lot of markets for jewel crafters really in all the gems. Again, though, it's probably going to be down to commodities. So the pricing of these is going to be really quite tough, I think, for the commodities market. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. And then we've got some jewellery, some actual really nice bits of jewellery here. The necks and rings, as you'd expect. Statues and carvings. Jarred Pinata. Place intimidating statue on the battlefield, which can be attacked by players of either faction. Once destroyed, it will drop a random battleground buff that anyone can claim. It can only be used in war mode. Okay, that sounds like it could be fun. And we got some pets, the whelp things. Those could hopefully be good sellers. Any mounts, anything like that, professional equipment, so magnifying glass, that's good for engineers probably. Novelties is toys, and then extravagant glassware. Crack to reveal a small hoard. Okay, so these are things that you can combine and make into something else. Okay, we've got some options here. I think jewel crafting, again, we've got specializations. I haven't looked at this just yet. Let's learn a few points into this. So this jeweler's kit mastery is fairly empty at this point. And basic toolkit and improve the general practice of jewel crafting. So this will be your starter one. And these ones you're gonna need to be probably skill level 100 before you can unlock them. So if we started on this and add some knowledge in, a lot we can add in here. Crafting speed and crafting skill, resourcefulness, crafting skill. Let's just add even more to this all the way around. Max that out. Learn to jeweler's kit mastery is learnt. Apply that, and then these faceting. Now these aren't limited by the skill level being at 100. I wonder if that's intended or not. Then we could learn that. Faceting, improve at cutting gems, crafting for all gem cuts, extra inspiration, then different frost, fire, earth, and air. And the settings is for very good, delicate art, fitting jewelry, gaining crafting skill. Okay, you need 100 in this now. You need 100 in that? No, you don't. Okay, that's interesting. And that needs 100. Okay, so settings and enterprising. Enterprising is craft point when crafting extravagancies in glassware, and this one when fitting jewelry, carving stone, and then probably this is carving idols, stone, and this is necklaces, jewelry, and rings. Okay, so you'd further want to specialize in each of these, probably quite quickly, I imagine. But then that requires skill level of 100 to unlock that. In the meantime, you can do things like faceting, go through all of those just to increase your skill. There's a lot of points here. Whether they're going to balance these to be less points or what have you, it does give you quite a few choices though. And then we could just choose to do all different gems here. So, first impressions. I'm still really excited about how this is looking. I think we've got some good things coming from both jewel crafting and leatherworking. There's no massive surprises here. It's kind of what I'd expect, especially based on what we saw from alchemy and blacksmithing before. the different levels of specialization, I think at the moment it seems a little bit up in the air in terms of like, okay, how are we going to work our way through this? Once we've got a proper sort of leveling path through the profession, and then when we know how and where we can get all these other recipes from, I mean, obviously it's so easy with Alpha. I can just buy the knowledge I need, I can buy the recipes I need, but that's not really a true indication of what it's really going to be like out in the world playing the game, and whether you're going to have to level up. Most likely you are, because I did notice that with equipment, you have to be level 61 at the moment to be able to equip any of these things. I was unfortunately wanted to try that out and see if I could max it out with my blacksmith character at the moment. But as it stands, it's looking pretty amazing, I'd say. If you've got any questions about any particular professions you want me to have a look at, please let me know and put it in the comments or contact me through my Discord or Twitter or wherever. There's lots of really exciting things. This is very much still first impressions, bare bones at the moment, but so far I think this is looking really, really nice. I can see it starting to come together. How these markets all play out when this comes to gold making, I think is going to remains to be seen at this point. So I hope you found that useful. I'll keep you posted with more and more things as and when they come out. So until next time, happy gold making, and I'll see you very soon.